Right, guys, welcome to the last stream of the day here on the channel. It's Scotland up against Ireland in the Six Nations. So some Sunday rugby. We've seen the Bulls get trashed by the Pumas in the Currie Cup a little bit earlier on. And now we're getting ready for the big one. It's Scotland up against Ireland. And it's a vital game in the Six Nations campaign, as one feels that Scotland need to win with a bonus point and keep Ireland away from a bonus point in order to win this competition next weekend. But it's going to be tough. I mean, the slightest of bonus points for Ireland here today could easily be the end of the Six Nations for all teams, because realistically, Scotland are playing Italy next week, and it should be a win for Scotland with a bonus point, while Ireland now taking on England, where we once would have said it would have been a tight game. One could almost say that it's almost a certain 5-pointer there for Ireland next week against the English. But you never know. They could show up and spoil the party next week as England. They tend to do things like that, and certainly from the other teams' perspectives, they would want England to win that game. Right, let's quickly go and have a look at the team lineups here, starting with the Scottish team. We've got Stuart Hogg at fullback. Then on the wings, we've got Carl Steyn and Duan van der Merwe. Then in the midfield, we've got Hugh Jones and Sione Tuipulotu. And then Finn Russell, as well as Ben White at number 9. Some reason he wasn't included in that show just there. Let's just add him real quickly for later on. Number 9, Ben White, the scrum half for today's game for Scotland. It's going to be a massive game for Scotland today. They've looked a lot better than recent seasons, and definitely a team that is worth mentioning today, leading up to the Rugby World Cup a little bit later on. So Stuart Hogg playing in his 100th game today for Scotland. How great would that be for him to get a victory on his 100th game against one of the top teams in world rugby at the moment? Then the wing combination, the South African combination of Carl Steyn and Duan van der Merwe has been quite exceptional. I don't think there's a better left winger in world rugby at the moment than Duan van der Merwe. It would be very difficult not to select him in any World 15 side at the current moment. And then the midfield combination of Huey Tuipulotu is the word that's doing the rounds. So Hugh Jones and Sione Tuipulotu forming a formidable midfield combination for the Scotland side. And then Finn Russell on the day is probably one of the best fly-offs in world rugby at the moment. And then courtesy of Ben White now playing some really great rugby in the absence of Ali Price. Richard Horry says, hi all, come on boys in green. So Ireland supporter there. Let's go and have a look at the pack of forwards for this Scotland side today. They've made a couple of changes there. Jack Dempsey at number 8, Jamie Ritchie and Matt Ferguson completing that loose trio for Scotland. Then Johnny Gray and Richie Gray forming that lock combination with a front row. Xander Ferguson, George Turner and Piers Skuman. And some really exceptional players there as well. Jack Dempsey making the move from Australia to Scotland, playing some really good rugby for them. Then Jamie Ritchie, captain courageous, ball stealer, ball carrier, and exquisite player. Matt Ferguson will just accompany them in that loose trio, quality player himself. And then surely Johnny Gray and Richie Gray will not struggle at line-out times against probably a good combination of the Irish side, which we will have a look in just a couple of minutes. Then the likes of Piers Skuman and Xander Ferguson starting to form a really good partnership along with George Turner. It should be interesting how the game of the forwards will go. And if you look at the bench, Fraser Brown, Jamie Barty, Simon Berger, Scott Cummings, Hamish Watson, Ali Price, Blair Kinghorn and Chris Harris. Quality replacements there in Hamish Watson, Ali Price and Blair Kinghorn. I would have loved to have seen Hamish Watson start along with Jack Dempsey and Jamie Ritchie. But I guess the impact that he will make off the bench will be even more vital for the Scotland side come in that second half if the game is still close. Let's quickly go and have a look at the Irish side for today. A very good side, top of the world team. And at fullback, we've got Hugo Keenan, the wing combination of Mac Hansen and James Lowe, with the midfield combination of Gary Ringrose and Bundi Aki, forming a formidable midfield there. And then Johnny Sexton and Conor Murray in the halfback combination. If this team can't do it, then no Irish team will ever do it. That is just my 2 cents on, or thoughts on this Irish side at the moment. If they can't do it, then no Irish team will do it. Quality all around there. Hugo Keenan, twinkle toes, very light on his feet, along with Mac Hansen. James Lowe, quality New Zealand, well, not New Zealand player, but New Zealand born player, and really finding his feet at Ireland at the moment, along with Leinster. Then Johnny Sexton, never die, as long with Conor Murray. This combination is growing in stature and probably one of the best halfback combinations in world rugby. Stuart Wason says for the win for Scotland today. Home of my forefathers. World Cup, though, I don't think in the running. So, Stuart, I would say anything can happen in that World Cup. You know, this is like a curtain raiser, just a dress rehearsal for that game between Ireland and Scotland later on in the World Cup. And I mean, if Scotland can do it today, then why not do it later on as well, you know? If we look at the forwards from Ireland, Caelan Doris, Josh van der Fleer, and Peter O'Mahony, probably one of the best loose trios in world rugby at the moment. Caelan Doris, probably the best number 8 at the moment. Josh van der Fleer, the best player in the world, along with the veteran of Peter O'Mahony. And then the lock combination of James Ryan and Ian Henderson comes a long way as well. And then the front row forwards of Tadhg Furlong, Dan Sheehan and Andrew Porter. Could argue and say Dan Sheehan probably the best hooker in world rugby currently, and a lot of quality players in this lineup with the likes of Caelan Doris, Josh van der Fleer, Tadhg Furlong, Dan Sheehan. You could argue there's a couple of these guys that could be deemed best in their positions in world rugby at the moment. If you look at the bench for this Ireland side, Ronan Kelleher, Kane Healy, Tom O'Toole, Ryan Beard, Jack Conan, Jamison Gibson Park, Ross Byrne and Robbie Henshaw. Quality there on the bench for them with Jamison Gibson Park, surprisingly not being selected ahead of Conor Murray for this fixture as well today. Teams are now onto the field and they're going to do the national anthems real shortly. So just building up to the start of this game. It should be an epic battle between the two sides. I'm going to hope for a Scotland victory today, and it's the sole reason for that, because we do have a couple of South Africans there in Carl Steyn, Duan van der Merwe, and Piers Skuman today that will be flying the South African flag high as well. So it's going to be tough. I don't think it's going to be easy beating the Irish side, but at Scotland, at Murrayfield, it could be done. Stuart says, absolutely, Guru, but my blood is green. Springboks for the cup. Yeah, look, obviously, if I have to pick between the Springboks and Scotland, I will also go for the Springboks, Stuart. But it's always great to see. I think this is going to be the most competitive World Cup ever, with any of the top 8 teams capable of upsetting one of the big teams on the day. You know, I mean, apart from Wales at the moment, who I think is really poor, I think any of those top 7, Ireland, New Zealand, South Africa, France, Scotland, Australia, and Argentina can upset any team on the day. And don't forget that Tonga and Samoa is bringing reinforcements into this World Cup. So don't be surprised if we see a massive upset with one of either Samoa or Tonga maybe upsetting one of the big boys or preventing a bonus point that could come into play later in the competition as well. The Irish done with their national anthem. It's now the Scottish national anthem, and probably one of the greatest national anthems around. Flower of Scotland, you know. It's very close to my heart, and the Scotland side very close to my heart. I would probably say my second team, if I have to pick one, after South Africa. I would definitely back Scotland any other day in any game against any other opponent. It's going to be interesting this World Cup. But today is the Six Nations, and Scotland need to prevent Ireland a win and a bonus point today, get a bonus point themselves, and then go for glory next week against Italy, which is going to be another tough fixture. It could be one of those potholes really for Scotland next week if they do manage to win this game here today. But a lot will have to happen. They're going to have to play 80 minutes of brilliant rugby against the world's best team, and it's not going to be easy. We saw Ireland beat France, and we saw what France did to England just yesterday. So in the back of my mind, I would say Ireland to win this one, but hopefully a Scotland victory as well. Antoinette, how's it going? Antoinette, hope you're well. We're getting ready for the game between Scotland and Ireland. Should be a really good game. Antoinette Gerber says, Argentina, my second team, Guru. They used to be one of my favorite teams as well, but they got a little bit big-headed as the tournament grew, as the rugby championship grew, how the Super Rugby grew. One just had to feel that they started to get bigger than the game sometimes. And lovely to see Argentina beat the All Blacks, obviously. Lovely to see them beat any team on the day. But, yeah, as far as this one goes, it's going to be a massive game. Let's quickly go run through that team lineups just before the start of this game. Stuart Hawke at fullback for Scotland, Carl Steyn and Duan van der Merwe on the wings, Hugh Jones and Sione Tuipulotu in the midfield, Finn Russell and Ben White halfback combination, and Jack Dempsey, Jamie Ritchie and Matt Ferguson loose trio, with Johnny Gray and Richie Gray in the lock combination, Xander Ferguson, George Turner and Piers Skuman completing the front row for them. Then having a look at the Ireland side, Hugo Keenan, then Mac Hansen and James Lowe on the wings, with Gary Ringrose and Bundiaki in the midfield, and then a halfback of Johnny Sexton and Conor Murray. Loose trio combination of Caelan Doris, Josh van der Fleer and Peter O'Mahony. Lock combination, James Ryan and Ian Henderson. And then the front row of Tyke Furlong, Dan Sheehan and Andrew Porter. If you look at the benches, Fraser Brown, Jamie Barty, Simon Bergham, Scott Cummings, Hamish Watson, Ali Price, Blair Kinghorn, and Chris Harris. And then for Ireland, we've got Ronan Gallagher, Kane Healy, Tom O'Toole, Ryan Beard, Jack Conan, Jameson Gibson Park, Ross Byrne, and Robbie Henshaw. Let's get this game underway. It's going to be Ireland to kick off from left to right on my screen, with the referee for today, Luke Pierce, assisted by Wayne Barnes and Christoph Ridley, with Stuart Hergeek, the TMO for this big game here at BT Murrayfield. Right, Ireland to get this game underway, playing from left to right on the screen. Here we go. Kick off from Johnny Sexton, and this game is underway. Deep kicking inside the 22, taken by Jack Dempsey. Fends off one. Mac Hansen already just up over the 22 now. Ben White to Piers Skuman. Sets it up just on the 22-meter line, about 10 meters out from the left-hand touchline. Ben White waiting for this one to come out. And the box kick over the top from Ben White. Will it find touch? No, it won't. It's going to find, Hugo Keenan nearly dropping that ball, but recollects it beautifully on the 22-meter line, on the 10-meter line, sorry, and taken up by Caelan Doris up to the halfway line for Ireland now. Slow ball coming back for Ireland now, under pressure at the breakdown, but Bundiaki at scrum off now, gets it out to James Ryan, just sets it up, just up over halfway, about 10 meters from the right-hand touchline now. Conor Murray going with a little chip kick over the top, but nobody really chasing, and Finn Russell makes an easy mark. Goes with a kick downfield, very fast-paced game, and finds a beautiful touch finder is Finn Russell. Territory gain of 50.8 meters there for Finn Russell. A really solid kick, finding touch about between the 22 and the 10-meter line of Ireland. Dwayne the Good says, what a 2023 World Cup we're going to witness this year, my friend. Absolutely. It's going to be massive. Dan Sheehan with a throw into this line out here for Ireland. Just outside the 22. Well taken by Ian Henderson now. The driving maul set up by Ireland off the back. Josh van der Fleer finds Galen Doris now. Sets it up almost on the 10-meter line. Conor Murray goes to the box kick over the top again. A chase coming from Mac Hansen this time. Well taken by Van der Merwe now. Duan Van der Merwe on the, between the halfway and the 10-meter line. Inside Scotland's territory. Now Piers Kuman gets the pop pass to Xander Fagerson. Again, Ben White to Finn Russell now. White they go, picked up by Carl Steyn, driven back in a tackle by Bundiaki on the 10-meter line. 10 meters from the right-hand touchline for Scotland. Piers Kuman takes it in. Still slow ball coming out now for Scotland. Pick up and go from Johnny Gray. Taken up by Xander Fagerson, just up over the 10 now. Here comes Finn Russell. Tui Pelotto on a loop around, gets it out to Hugh Jones. Hugh Jones into a bit of space up to the 10-meter line. He's brought down on the 10-meter line of Ireland now. Finn Russell again. Flat pass this time to Richie Gray. Richie Gray on the 10-meter line in the middle of the field. Finn Russell goes to the grabber kick through straight into the hands of Hugo Keenan, who's going to kick it downfield and find touch roundabout on the 5 meters inside the half of Scotland. A great kick. Territory gain of 37.5 meters. Good opening 3 minutes of this game. Scotland looking good on the attack, while Ireland himself looking clinical at the moment. 3.5 minutes gone in this one. A line out now to Scotland between the 10 and the halfway line inside their own half here. What will they decide to do here? So Richie Gray that just was receiving some attention quickly. Throw-in now coming from George Turner. It's poor and it's taken by James Ryan as Ireland now up to the 10-meter line. Tight Furlong sets it up beautifully between the 10 and the 22. Now Sexton, James Lowe, Bundiaki. Great tackle there from Tui Pelotto on him. Conor Murray back to Sexton now. Ringrose cuts back on the inside towards the middle of the field between the 22 and the 10. Conor Murray again. Sexton back to Conor Murray on the inside. Brought it down now. Here they come, Gary Ringrose. Out it comes now. It's taken up by Ian Henderson again. 5 meters outside of the 22 in the middle of the field now. Gary Ringrose at scrum half. Sexton. Bundiaki on a loop around into a bit of space. Tackled by Tui Pelotto on the 22-meter line. Conor Murray again. Poor pass out to James Lowe on the back foot now. Between the 10 and the 22. Great leg drive from him to just about 5 meters out from the 22. Here they come again. Sexton with a little grabber through and into touch about 5 meters out from the Scotland try line on the right-hand side of the field for Scotland. 5 minutes gone. Quickly thrown in by Scotland. They make them mess with it, and Ireland has got it now just a meter out from the try line. Another pick up and go, and it's Dan Sheehan who's got the first try of this game for Ireland. Well, the referee hasn't blown for the try just yet. They might go upstairs to have a look at something here. But silly from Scotland, really. Quick throw in. Well taken there by Ireland over the top. And then the leg drive. Pick up and go from Dan Sheehan. Try. So, not sure what the hold-up is now. As far as it looks for me, a clear try there for Ireland. Oh, wait. The referee says that no try. Not quite sure. I don't have any audio, but it seems like there was 2 balls there. So they used the wrong ball, it seems, for that one. Well, lucky Scotland there. Very, very lucky Scotland indeed. So they are going to have the line out 5 meters up from the try line for Scotland. They took the throw in with the wrong ball. Right, the throw in from George Turner then taken well by Johnny Gray. Now gets it out to Jack Dempsey. 5 meters out from the try line. That ball spills out. It could be Ireland ball now. 5 meters out from the try line. Now it does come back for Scotland. No, it does. No, it's a penalty to Scotland. It for a second came back to the Irish side, but hands in the ruck there, says Luke Pearce, and it's a penalty to Scotland. And Stuart Hawke now kicks this downfield. He will find touch between the 10 and the halfway line inside the Scotland territory. Still can't believe that the try was not given. I mean, yes, the ball was thrown. Well, the throw-in was done with the wrong ball, but I mean, if they had not scored there, it would have probably been play on and nothing would have come of it. But just because the try has now been scored, the wrong ball suddenly has been used. It's one of those things. Richie Gray has been replaced by Scott Cummings, so an early departure for Richie Gray. Also receiving some attention here is Caelan Doris now for Ireland. We've had 7 minutes in this first half. Still no score here at the moment. Let me know in the comment section who you guys think is going to win this game. My heart says Scotland, but my head says Ireland today. So Caelan Doris back on his feet. Scotland for the win, I said in the poll. 53% have said yes, World Cup dark horses, and 35% says no, you are crazy, and 12% says it's anybody's game. The line out taken by Ireland now on the 10-meter line of Scotland now. Chance here for Tite Furlong, who takes it up for Ireland just up over the 10-meter line. Conor Murray comes back to Johnny Sexton, goes high up into the air. Not enough chasers coming, and Carl Steyn makes the mark on the try line here for Scotland. Roundabout in the middle of the field. So 8 minutes gone in this one. Carl Steyn now to kick this downfield for Scotland. Will look for touch here, and he will find it beautifully roundabout between the 10 and the 22-meter line of Scotland. Just making sure that he finds touch safely and don't allow this Irish side to go on the attack. 8.5 minutes gone. Still 0-0 at the moment. Line out now to Ireland between the 10 and the 22 of Scotland, taken by Ian Henderson. The maul has been formed by Ireland of the back. Conor Murray, Johnny Sexton, Gary Ringrose with the grubber kick through. James Lowe is chasing up after this. Stuart Hawke collects it beautifully and has been pushed into touch 5 meters out from the try line. Ireland line out 5 meters out from Scotland's try line. 9 minutes played in this one. A chance now for Ireland to get the first points on the board. They're looking pretty damn good at the moment as this Irish side. Playing tactically brilliant rugby. You can see a lot of Leinster in this Irish side at the moment. Dan Sheehan to throw this one in for them. 5 meters out from the Scotland try line. On the left-hand side of the field now, Ian Henderson takes it. Here comes the driving maul from Ireland. Dan Sheehan controlling at the back here. Starting to move sideways is Ireland. Not really gaining any ground forward. And Conor Murray will have to try and get this one out real quickly. It goes down, and it could just as well be Scotland ball now. No, it comes back Conor Murray. Bundiaki tackled by Finn Russell, but offside advantage now to Ireland. 5 meters out from the try line. Andrew Porter gets it out. Peter O'Mahony takes it up now. Tight furlong. Dan Sheehan again. It's coming back slowly for Ireland now. Right under the sticks at the moment. Andrew Porter with ball in hand gets it out. Conor Murray, Johnny Sexton, Gary Ringrose. Gary Ringrose just a meter short of the try line. Now Conor Murray waiting for it. Still just a meter short is Ireland now. Caelan Doris. Good defense there from Cummings for Scotland. Still they come towards the middle of the field now. Peter O'Mahony gets man and ball there. Still Ireland come 5 meters out from the try line now. Josh van der Fleer. Johnny Sexton with a long cut-out pass to Mac Hansen. He's got Duhan van der Merwe to beat. Good defense from Duhan van der Merwe. and they go into touch, so they're coming back for the penalty to Ireland. Probably right under the sticks here. Well, there's, I think, two penalties here, one under the sticks and one to the left or to the right-hand corner. Oh, in fact, it's going to move, towards the middle of the field. So Sexton should be going for the three-pointer here. It's all Ireland at the moment. 11 minutes played in this one, as he signals that he will have a shot at goal from here. Great defense from Duan van der Merwe on Mac Hansen. I thought for a second that Mac Hansen, with his twinkle toes, were going to be able to get past Duan, who's a lot bigger and heavier than him. But he managed to hold his ground there beautifully. 11 and a half minutes gone. Scotland will now be trailing by 3 points to 0 if this kick goes over. And so far, it looks like Ireland the better of the two teams. Sexton with a kick right in front here for them. Shouldn't be a problem at all for him. Taking his time with it. And easy three-pointer then for Ireland. 3 points to 0. Or not 4 points to 0. 3 points to 0. After 12 minutes of play in this game. Leon Janssen says, Guru, thank you back on. Hope Scotland can win this one. Yeah, my thought exactly, Leon. Right, so Jack Conan coming onto the field, and it looks like Caelan Doris will be leaving the field, unfortunately. Quality player being replaced here. Right, so Stuart Hawke to restart then for Scotland from the halfway line. It's taken in by Johnny Sexton, kicks it downfield. Not going to find touch, finds Stuart Hogg on the 10-meter line. Up to the halfway line now, up to the 10-meter line of Ireland. Brought down 5 meters out from the left-hand touchline. Ben White, Piers Skuman sets it up well. Josh van der Vleer very quickly onto him now. Tui Pilote throws a little dummy just up over the 10 now of Ireland. Still 5 meters out from the left-hand touchline now. It's Xander Fagerson. Good leg drive from him. Ben White again. Finn Russell. Flat pass out to Jamie Ritchie. But still caught on the 10-meter line in the middle of the field now. Back on the inside they go to Duan van der Merwe. Piers Skuman now just up over the 10-meter line. Ben White, Hugh Jones. Now it's a chance here for George Turner. Gets the pass out to Jack Dempsey. Jack Dempsey having a good run now. 5 meters out from the 22-meter line. Johnny Gray takes it up, sets it up just outside the 22 now. Ben White, Jack Dempsey again. Jack Dempsey, 5 meters out from the 22. Still is Scotland now. Driven back in a tackle was Johnny Gray. Ben White again waiting for it. Now comes back Finn Russell. Finn Russell nearly into a half gap up to the 22-meter line. Now Ben White, Piers Skuman again. Piers Skuman now 5 meters inside the 22 of Ireland in the middle of the field here. Ben White waiting for this one. Gets it back to Xander Fagerson. Xander Fagerson sets it up. Inside the 22 now, Finn Russell. Back to Stuart Hawke. Stuart Hawke now 10 meters out from the try line, right on the left-hand side of the field. Xander Fagerson, Jack Dempsey. Ben White waiting for it again now, Finn Russell. Flat pass this time, Hugh Jones. Hugh Jones gets the pass out to Carl Steyn. Carl Steyn on the inside. Gets it out to Finn Russell again. Now Finn Russell, back it comes now to Hugh Jones. Sets it up about 15 meters out from the try line now in the middle of the field. Ben White, back to Xander Fagerson. Finn Russell, Stuart Hawke. Stuart Hawke taking on Johnny Sexton, 5 meters out from the try line. And the touch judge said that they were into touch 5 meters out from the Irish try line. Line out to Ireland now. 3 points to 0 after 15 minutes of play. Good phases there, built by Scotland, and looking like the real deal here. Definitely not holding back against this Irish side, and if they can push them on like they do now, they will have a chance of winning this game today. 15 minutes gone. Time is off on the clock here as we've got an injury break to one of the players. But 3 points to 0 at the moment. High-paced game here between the two sides. It's Johnny Sexton who's receiving some attention. Last thing Ireland would want now is an injury to Johnny Sexton. Carberry is on the bench for them. So he is back on his feet now. Grandpa Sexton. And it will be a line out now to Ireland, 5 meters out from the try line. Dan Sheehan to throw this one in. Finds Ian Henderson. Oh, sloppy there from Conor Murray. Nearly lost that ball, but Ireland now in possession, 3 meters out from their own try line. Jack Conan takes it up to about 5 meters out from their own try line. Conor Murray now waiting for this one. Slow ball coming back for Ireland. He will be going with a box kick over the top. Not going to find touch. Finds Duan van der Merwe between the 22 and the 10-meter line. He's going to run it up to just shy of the 22. 10 meters out from the left-hand touchline. Now Piers Skuman. Skuman nearly into the little half gap himself. Ben White, Finn Russell. Finn Russell gets the pass out to Duan van der Merwe again. Now just 7 meters out from the try line. Here's Scotland, 5 meters from the left-hand touchline. Ben White tries to go himself. 5 meters out from the try line. He's going to need support now. Who's going to be a strong off? Piers Skuman gets it up now to Cummings. Just 2 meters out from the try line now. Duan van der Merwe pick up and go. Driven back in the tackle. Now just 5 meters out from the try line again. Here's Scotland. The little leg drive from Ferguson. Can Scotland get over? 3 meters out from the try line. Ben White. Here they come to Ipolotto. Beautiful. It's Hugh Jones in under the post for the first try of this game. Scotland 5, Ireland 3. Hugh Jones onto the board. 17 minutes gone in his first half. 5 points to 3 it is. And what a hit back from the Scottish. Could have been totally different had that first try been awarded from Dan Sheehan. But it's Scotland who gets the opener, and it's Hugh Jones, South African born, who gets the try. Beautiful little pop pass from Sione to Ipolotto. And it's Ireland 3, Scotland 5. First try of 4 required from Scotland. It's a rehearsal for the big game in the World Cup between the two teams. It's either South Africa, Scotland or Ireland who's going to get knocked out of the pool stages. The conversion goes over. It's 7 points to 3. And to Ipolotto, to Hugh Jones. Brilliant little pass. Great running angle from Hugh Jones. Sets up this first try for Scotland. 18 minutes gone. Dan Sheehan now also leaving the field here for Ireland. They've already lost Galen Doris, remember. Now it's Dan Sheehan, and onto the field comes Ronan Gallagher now for them. The restart then from Sexton. It's taken in by Jack Dempsey. Just up over the 22, about 10 meters from the left-hand touchline. Ben White now waiting for it. He's going to go with a box kick over the top now. Not going to find touch. Find Hugo Keenan now. Hugo Keenan from the 10-meter line inside Irish territory now. Taking it up to almost to the halfway line. Conor Murray waiting for it. Back to Josh van der Fleer. Back to Johnny Sexton. Buniaki now. Brought down right in the middle of the field on the halfway line. Taken up by Andrew Porter now. Conor Murray again, Sexton, James Ryan, just up over the halfway line now. Tight Furlong setting it up for them. Conor Murray, Johnny Sexton, Mac Hansen, flat pass to Josh van der Fleer up to the 10-meter line of Scotland. Sexton again, Tight Furlong. Now it's Hugo Keenan out to Jack Conan, little pop pass to James Ryan between the 10 and the 22-meter line of Scotland now. towards the middle of the field. Now they get it out to James Lowe. James Lowe to Mac Hansen. Now getting closer to the 22-meter line here of Scotland. It's Conor Murray who had to think quickly and take that scramble from them. Gary Ringrose now at scramble, but a big push from Scotland. Here could turn over for Scotland. Yes, it is. Now it's Finn Russell. Gets it out to Ben White right on the left-hand corner here and driven into touch is Ben White. Will be a line out to, we're coming back for a penalty against Ireland here. So Scotland with a penalty then. Stuart Wason says, oh, flower of Scotland, go boys. And then JD Quinn, early exit for the box at the World Cup. No, let's not talk like that, JD. Look, when it comes to World Cups, Ireland are less likely to make it, given that they've only reached the quarterfinals of each competition so far. So if you have to bet money on one, it would be either Scotland or Ireland, maybe. George Turner with a throw-in finds Jamie Ritchie on the 10-meter line of Ireland. Now here they come to Ipolotto, straightening things up for them. Ben White again now back to you, Jones. Finn Russell on a loop around. Oh, Stuart Hogg gets man and ball and knocks that ball on. Advantage to Ireland now. Just outside the 22 of Ireland. Gary Ringrose gets it out. Jack Conan throws a little dummy, makes it up to the 10-meter line inside their own half now. And there was a little knock-on from Ireland, so the referee bringing them back for the first knock-on from Stuart Hogg. Just outside of the 22 of Ireland, about 5 meters from the left-hand touch line inside Ireland territory. Stuart Wason says Springboks for the Rugby World Cup win. 7 points to 3, 22 minutes played in this game. And both teams have looked ridiculously good on the attack and solid on the defense. Byron Knight says, hi Guru, is this the last game for the Six Nations? So it's the last game of this weekend, with next weekend being the finale, Byron. Next week, Italy, Scotland, Ireland, England, France, Wales. Right, so free kick here from the scrum to Scotland. Ben White takes it quickly now. Finn Russell, flat pass to Ipolotto, just outside the 22 in the middle of the field now. Ben White again to Pierre Skuman. Skuman sets this up beautifully now. Pick up and go from Ferguson. Getting it out again, Finn Russell. Tuan van der Merwe gets man and ball, but gets back Hansen, and the leg drive is brilliant. He's up over the 22 now, 5 meters inside. It's Jack Dempsey, the pass not going to plan there. And now they have to scramble back as Scotland as the ball has been kicked ahead by Ireland. And it's Gary Ringrose who's going to chase up after this one. But it's Carl Steyn who gets back there for Scotland. Just about 10 meters out from their own try line is Scotland now. And Ben White waiting to collect that ball for them. Nearly a big mistake from Scotland as Ben White goes with a kick over the top and he's going to find touch roundabout on the, between the 10 and the 22 meter line. Territory gain of 27 meters there from Ben White. But an attack that looked brilliant from Scotland turned nearly into a nightmare for them as Gary Ringrose nearly got to that ball first. Luckily for them, Carl Steyn was back to get there and win that ball on the ground. Ronan Keller now to throw this one in for Ireland, but we have a stoppage in play real quickly. So far, so good. One try from Scotland. Hugh Jones getting that opening try, but it could have easily have been a try to Dan Sheehan very early in that first half when a quick throw-in from Scotland were turned over by Ireland and Dan Sheehan went over, only to be called back because Scotland used the wrong ball to throw the ball in. Talking about technical. Right, so Ronan Keller then with a throw in on the 10-meter line, taken well by James Ryan now, Josh van der Fleer, Jack Conan, Johnny Sexton, Mac Hansen, Hugo Keenan cuts back on the inside, 5 meters outside of the 22 now. Johnny Sexton with a little kick ahead, the chase coming from James Lowe. This could work. No, it's not going to work. Duan van der Merwe dots it down, and it's a goal line dropout for Scotland. Read very well by Duan van der Merwe there. Johnny Sexton with a couple of grubbers already putting the pressure on Scotland, but Duan van der Merwe were always going to win that race against James Lowe on that occasion. Frederick Groenewald says, go Scots, as Finn Russell to restart this then for Scotland from the goal line dropout. It's taken in by Johnny Sexton on a 10-meter line, out to Jack Conan, who's going to barge his way up to almost the 10-meter line here of Scotland. Ryan Beard also on for Ian Henderson for Ireland. So already 3 players down injured for Ireland now. Johnny Sexton takes it up to between the 10 and the 22-meter line now. Jamie Ritchie did brilliantly well to try and steal that ball on the ground. He's got it for Scotland here. No, says the referee, that ball's not going to come out. And in fact, it's going to be an Irish ball. Was taken in by Jamie Ritchie, and he couldn't get that ball out. So scrum down to Ireland, 5 meters outside of the 22, inside Scotland's territory. Dion Cordier says Scotland for the win, and then Richard Horry says that Byron United, no, it's not. Next weekend is the last game. Yeah, so next weekend, when Italy take on Scotland, France take on Wales, and Ireland take on England. It's massive today. If Ireland can be beaten, Scotland get a bonus point, prevent them from getting a bonus point, and then go into next week and try and trash the Italians for the title. It could go either way. Or Ireland could just cement their place almost today. Well, France then will be the only other team able to surpass them. Right, Conor Murray to take that ball from the scrum, gets it out flat past to Bundiaki. Just shy of the 22 now, taken up by Peter O'Mahony. Now Conor Murray again, out it comes now to James Ryan. Conor Murray again, Jack Conan. Jack Conan sets it up, Conor Murray again. Now it's on the inside, Josh van der Fleer. Conor Murray again. Now it's Beard. Takes it in now. Hugo Keenan with a long cut pass to Mac Hansen. And this time, I think he's got it down. He might have just out-sprinted Duan van der Merwe there. Let's have a look. It's going to be close. I couldn't see from the first go. We're going to have to watch this in slow motion. 7 points to 3 it is. With Luke Pierce now going to go up to the TMO. 28 minutes gone. Let's have a look whether Duan van der Merwe was able to stop Mac Hansen there in the right-hand corner. Goodness. This time it looks good. It looks good from this first angle. Let's have a look from the second angle. That's try. Try to Mac Hansen. He's got it down. He's confident. And on that replay, I'm pretty confident that they did get it down. It's such close margins. But I think Mac Hansen has managed to dot it down. Let's have one more look at this. That is a try. Yeah, no doubt about it. In play, Mac Hansen. I don't know why they're taking so long with this decision. Right, so the try's been awarded. It's 8 points to 7 now. Ireland leading Scotland with a conversion to come. A brilliant try from the Irish. I just wonder how vital that three injuries early on in this first half is going to be for Ireland later on in this game, with a couple of replacements already on the field, just to push you up to date with what had happened. Ronan Keller has replaced Dan Sheehan, as well as Ryan Beard has replaced Ian Henderson, as well as Jack Conan replacing Caelan Doris. And then there's also the possibility of Johnny Sexton maybe being replaced earlier than expected, because he had a bump earlier on as well. But he's going to take this conversion attempt from the right-hand corner now. So let's see what he can do with this one. 29 minutes gone in this game. It's Ireland with a slender 1-point lead. Sexton lining this one up. And that's going to go to the right-hand side of the post. So 8 points to 7. It is going to stay here, with Ireland now leading with a single point. You're not posting, you're playing Rugby Challenge 4 anymore. That sucks. I enjoy the commentary on those videos. So I do have plenty of videos. In fact, I've got the new World Cup series on the channel coming up this couple of weeks. Already I've posted 2 games already. One was on Thursday and one on Friday. Or no, one on Friday and one on Saturday. So just go and check it out. It is the Rugby World Cup 2023 played on Rugby Challenge 4. Don doesn't wear shorts. Right, so in the meantime, the restart was taken. Ireland kicked it out, and it's going to be a line-out now to Scotland between the 10 and the 22-meter line of Ireland. George Turner with a throw-in. Finds his jumper beautifully now, and a maul has been formed now. Off the back comes George Turner. Gets it Ben White, straightening the line is Jack Dempsey. Ben White again out to Piers Skuman. Piers Skuman. Now Ben White back to Tui Pelotto on a loop around. Finn Russell goes a little grubber through. And that ball is going to bounce beautifully 5 meters out from the Irish try line. Line out to Ireland. Moorsabas says, come Scotland, beat these Irish. Hulle raak al gerwind gehad, says Moorsabas. And then Jamesy Bay boy says, come on Scotland, get into them. Quickly thrown in by Ireland now, and they've secured that ball right on their try line. Conor Murray now waiting for possession to come out, goes with a box kick over the top and into touch right on the 22-meter line. 5 meters inside the 22 of Ireland. Chance now for Scotland. McKeel, low, Opigan, Studios will deliver with Rugby 24. Absolutely, they will. Don doesn't wear shorts. Super Sport should hire you as a rugby commentator, man. Thanks, really appreciate the comment. Ireland will struggle to make the final, says Dion. The line out taken well by Scotland now on the 22-meter line. Jamie Ritchie took that in. Here comes the driving ball from Scotland now. George Turner. Has that been collapsed by Ireland? No, says the referee. Ben White comes back to Pelotto. Finn Russell, yes, space for him. It's Duan van der Merwe. He's 5 meters out from the try line. He should have just let that ball go to the right. It's going to be a penalty to Ireland. Holding on the ground. The space opened up brilliantly for him. And maybe should just have taken that pass to the right. And now, to make things worse, they back chatted the referee, who's now going to send him another 10 meters further. Poor discipline from Scotland. Well, 8 points to 7. 8 minutes to go in this first half. What a gap opened up for him. Maybe should have just ran straight instead of going to the right. There was Duan van der Merwe. Ireland quickly up over that ball and got the penalty. On the halfway now, line out to Ireland. Territory gain of 25.9 meters. Ronan Keller to throw this one in now for Ireland. To the front they go. It's Beard who took that in now. Johnny Sexton, Buniaki, oh, beautiful pop pass. And here comes James Lowe into space. up to the 22-meter line, gets it out to Gary Ringrose. He's brought down 10 meters out from the try line. Quick ball needed now for Ireland. Conor Murray, tight furlong. Here they come again as Ireland now. Just 10 meters out from the try line, right under the sticks now. Conor Murray, Johnny Sexton, Bundiaki, throws a little damage, tries to go himself. Now just 4 meters out is Ireland. Conor Murray, the pass not going to hand. And the referee's going to give a penalty to Ireland. Interference there on Conor Murray by Stuart Hawke. So a penalty now to Ireland. So what will Ireland do from here? Do they go for the scrum? Do they go for the line out? Do they go for the 3 points? Points could be vital in this game. McGill Lowe says end-to-end stuff. Absolutely. So Ireland going for the corner, setting up the line out, 5 meters out from the try line with 6.5 minutes to go in this first half. Mursaba says, kom Scotland, roer jou. Ronan Keller to throw this one in now. 5 meters out from the try line. James Ryan takes it in beautifully. Now here's the driving maul from Ireland. It's going forward now, brought down. Oh, was that sack? No, says the referee. Play on now. Ireland 5 meters out from the try line still. Can Scotland steal this ball? No, says the referee. Another penalty advantage coming for them. Need to be careful not to give away a yellow card now as Scotland. Pressure is building up on Luke Pearce now to give a yellow card. Johnny Sexton having a lot to say. So another penalty now, 5 meters out, and Sexton again will go for the corner here with 5 minutes to go in this first half. Ireland now 5 meters out from the try line. Can they do this? Rowan Keller also now receiving some attention here for Ireland. They've already lost Dan Sheehan. Remember, that should have been a penalty to Scotland. Piers Kuman rightfully contesting that ball, but the referee deciding to give the penalty to Ireland instead. So Ronan Keller now with a throw-in. Dan Sheehan with the throw in to this line out. It's been overthrown and George Turner collects it. Maybe justice to after all of that. Now Finn Russell, Hugh Jones, he's going to kick this downfield. And that's going to be touched by Hugo Keenan. So they have to play it just outside his own 22. Goes to the kick downfield himself, collected by Finn Russell. Just outside the 22 now, gets the pass out to Duan van der Merwe. Duan van der Merwe tackled by Josh van der Fleer on the 10-meter line of Scotland now. Ben White waiting for that ball to come out. Gets it out now to Finn Russell again. Now a little bit of space on the right-hand side. It's Carl Steyn brought down quickly though in the fence there from Ireland. Again now Ferguson, Finn Russell. Ferguson got tackled backwards and now Scotland under pressure again. 5 meters outside of their own 22 now. Ireland tackling them to pieces at the moment. Ben White waiting for it again now. Piers Kuman again setting it up 5 meters out of the 22. Ben White waiting. Still waiting for the ball to come out as Ben White goes to the box kick over the top. Your Highness, is this live right now? Yes, it is, Your Highness. Right, here comes James Lowe, gets it out to Hugo Keenan, 5 meters inside the half of Scotland now. Comes out again, Jack Conan sets it up, 5 meters inside the half of Scotland. Conor Murray, Johnny Sexton, pass out to Tight Furlong, gets caught behind the advantage line on the halfway line. Conor Murray again now, Jack Conan, Ronan Keller setting it up. Now Conor Murray, will he get that ball out? Yes, he will, gets it out to Hugo Keenan again. Now Mac Hansen out to Jack Conan. Is that a forward pass? Yes, says the referee to James Lowe. So scrum down to Scotland between the halfway and the 10-meter line inside their own half. Adon doesn't wear shorts. Do you think South African franchises playing in European tournament is weakening us against the Southern Hemisphere franchises? New Zealand and Australia. Well, I always thought it could, but you know what? What I've noticed is that I think our rugby has become stronger, and in fact, it's the All Blacks who's suffering the most because they're not getting that competition on a weekly basis in Super Rugby. You know, Mursabah says Johnny Sexton will be tired after the first half, and then Johannes says go Scotty Land. So it's been a very good game here between the two sides with 2 minutes to go in this first half. Scotland now with the scrum just about 5 meters inside their own half, 5 meters from the right and touchline. 1 point between the two teams. 2 minutes to play in this first half. Ben White to feed this for Scotland. They've got the whole of the left of the field to play if they want to. Right, so some decisions will have to be made for Ireland in that second half, losing 3 players already due to injury in that first half. And some of the other ones, Peter O'Mahony, Conor Murray and Johnny Sexton, all looking a little bit tired at the moment. Ben White to feed it in. Oh, it's going to be is that going to be a penalty against Ireland? Yes, it is. So at last chance here before halftime for Scotland. Ben White to kick. Oh, no, it was a free kick to Scotland. So they are going to have another scrum down here. Trying to drag in that forwards of Ireland at the moment, trying to open up space. Expect maybe a big run from Duan van der Merwe or even Stuart Hawke in this set play move maybe coming up because they're adamant to have the scrum. Minute to play in this first half. 5 meters inside Scotland's half. Scrum down to them. Antoinette Gerber says a try for Scotland now. Let's see if that's going to be the case. Less than a minute to play in this first half as Ben White feeds this one in for Scotland. This time a big push from Ireland. It's Carl Steyn, Tui Pelotto straightening the line beautifully. Just up over the halfway line now. Ben Young. Ben White gets it out to Stuart Hawke who takes it up. He's held up in the tackle though. Now brought to ground. 5 meters inside the half of Ireland. Now Jack Dempsey gets it out. It's Finn Russell. Pass to Johnny Gray. Just up over halfway. Isolated. And this could be a turnover for Ireland. This is where they could be very dangerous. But no, it's a penalty to Scotland here. With no time left on the clock for the first half. This is in range for Finn Russell. Will he have a shot at goal from here? It's about 5 meters inside the half of Ireland in the middle of the field. The Don doesn't wear shorts. Ask, why is Kolisi so overrated in South Africa? I wouldn't say he's overrated. There was a time when he wasn't the best player, and now he's suddenly playing some incredible rugby. So, maybe before he was overrated, not anymore. And then Guru Mursabah says, Dwayne Dolph Lundgren family or what? Right, so Scotland has turned down the 3-pointers, and they're going to have a go here for a try. 10 meters out from the try line. Where's Dwayne Dolph Lundgren? Right, George Turner with a throw-in. Beautifully taken by Scotland now. Here they come to Ipolotto. 5 meters out from the try line is Scotland now. Ben White gets the pass out. Russell. George Turner. Stuart Hawke on a loop around. Here they come again. George Turner. No, he's going to be pushed into touch here. And that's going to be half time. Time is up on the clock here. That is half time. So brilliant defense from Ireland to stop them there. Mursabah says, yes, Scotland try time. Just unable to do it. And some great defense from Ireland, pushing them into touch. So half time here at P.T. Murray Field. It's 8-7. And what a first half this has been. Good defense by Ireland throughout. Absolutely. So halftime 8-7. I'm going to take a quick break, guys, but don't go anywhere because when we do come back, We will be doing the second half of this game. Right, guys, we are back here for the second half of this game, and yeah, it's a 1 point game between the two sides at the moment, and truly can go anywhere way at the moment. A very, very good try from both teams so far. The one from Ireland were beauty, and the one from Scotland was even better, I would say. The try from Hugh Jones, and then one try from Mac Hansen. Um, just a brilliant try in the corner from Mac Hansen to set up Ireland. And then Hugh Jones with a beautiful pop pass from Tui Pilato, sending him over the try line. It was end-to-end stuff here in the first half. And we're looking forward to a very interesting second half, definitely, between the two sides. It can really go anywhere. If you're having a look at that try from Mac Hansen again. But again, from my point of view, I think it was a perfect try. Nothing wrong with that one. Not like the James Lowe try a couple of weeks ago. 63 carries from Scotland, 62 from Ireland, 432 meters made by Scotland, and 451 made by Ireland. 98 tackles made by Scotland, 93 by Ireland. 5 penalties conceded by Scotland, 3 by Ireland. 6 offloads apiece. So that's just how close this game is between the two sides. And the scoreboard shows exactly how close this game has been. A 1-point game. Your Highness says, I'd love to see an Irish-South Africa final in the Rugby World Cup. Yeah, well, look, anything is probably possible at the end of the day. I honestly, my personal favorite would be an All Black South Africa final, but either way, they are going to meet in the semi-finals this time round, I think, according to the draw. So an Ireland South Africa final is not off the cards just yet. 8 points to 7 at halftime, and we're looking forward to a very good second half between the two sides. I really can't separate the two teams at the moment. Scotland at times looking brilliant, Ireland looking brilliant at times. Both teams' defenses have been absolutely brilliant at times throughout this first half. And it's going to be probably the first team to score a try here in the second half who's going to win it. And it also depends on what time in the game the first try of the second half will be scored, even if they're going to be a second half try, because it's troubling. The defense are so good. If a try have to be scored in the last 20 minutes of the game, I think either one of the two teams that does it wins the game. McKeel Lowe says, I'm playing Rugby 08 without sound while listening to your coverage. A great game to play, McKeel, but hopefully you will be playing Rugby 24 a lot more than Rugby 08 in a couple of months' time. James O says, a lot of Irish injuries, doesn't look good for World Cup depth. Yeah, look, they still got plenty of talent. Jack Conan, brilliant replacement for Caelan Doris. The same goes for the replacement to Ian Henderson. I mean, Ryan Beard has looked good. The likes of Ronan Keller on for Dan Sheehan have done a good job so far. So just remember the likes of Tyke Burns still out injured at the moment for Ireland as well. Plenty of players that can still fill that role. The big problem for me is if when Johnny Sexton have to get injured, which he did have a little niggle early on in that first half. Questions are asked about Ross Burns' ability and also about Jack Carty. So I won't say that either one of those two will be able to fill in the shoes of Johnny Sexton. And that's probably why he's still the first choice flyer for the Irish team. Jameson Gibson Park, a good replacement for the likes of Conor Murray. And I mean, Robbie Henshaw, replacement for Bundiaki would be a brilliant replacement either way. And then Johnny Larmour is still out there, out injured at the moment. So they've got plenty of depth as the Irish side at any given time. Stuart Wason says, Khaleesi overrated, really. I am not afraid of an army of lions led by a sheep. I'm afraid of an army of sheep led by a lion. And then Your Highness says Sexton is old now. Yeah, so to come back to that one with Khaleesi being overrated, I don't think it's they ask why is he so overrated in South Africa? I don't think it's a case of him being overrated. Like I mentioned before, there was a time when he didn't play the best of rugby, and we stick to him, and we kept him on as captain, and overall it prevailed at the end of the day. You know, he's playing some of the best rugby of his career now, and it would be difficult even for myself to say that there's a single better flanker out there at the moment in South Africa to replace him. You know, I mean, Kwagga Smith is there, the likes of Marco van Staden is there, but they're definitely not better than Kolisi at any given time at this stage of form, or what we have witnessed in the last couple of games from him. Right, so we should get ready for the second half anytime now. Both teams should be back onto the field real soon. Marlo Nadia asked, who do you think will win? So again, my heart says Scotland, but my head says Ireland. I would love for Scotland to win this game and keep that battle open until the very last game of the Six Nations. Because if Ireland win this one, they basically just have to get a bonus point or 2 bonus points against England. And I mean, how difficult can it be to get it against England? And it would also allow 3 teams to race for the title instead of 2 if Ireland win this game here today. Johannes says, man, Kolisi lead our boys to a World Cup win. Right, so Ireland back onto the field now. Scotland also now making their way back onto the field. 40 minutes of intense rugby to come here at PT Murrayfield. Scotland looked very good towards the end of the first half with just a night by some brilliant Irish defence in that last minutes of the first half. So can they hit back in the second half again and do this? Niam says, let's win this thing, Scotland. Right, so we should get ready for the second half now. Both teams are back onto the field. And it's going to be Scotland to kick this game off for the second half, playing from left to right on your screen. It's going to be a massive 40 minutes to come. It's either team's game here. Can Scotland do this? And what will Ireland do after that? Because I can tell you one thing. If Scotland win this game, a lot of questions are going to be asked about that pool. Johannes says, don't count out the French this Rugby World Cup. Obviously not. They are playing at home and should actually win the Rugby World Cup, but they might just choke. Right, so here we go. Stuart Hawke to get the second half underway for us. It's 40 minutes left. James Ryan takes that one in just outside the 22 for Ireland, and a penalty immediately to Ireland, coming in from the side by Tui Pelotto. And Ireland with the opportunity to get some pressure off them early on in the second half. Yeah, it was Ferguson as well as Cummings penalised there, in fact, for coming in from the side. Kick goes out on the halfway line, so Ireland now with the line out on the halfway line. Oh, tough call against Scotland there again. So what will they do? So Josh van der Vlier is going to throw this one in. So there must have been another change. They don't have another hooker on the field. Is Ireland now. It will be interesting to see who has come onto the field. Van der Vlier finds Peter O'Mahony at the front now. Here they come Sexton. Flat pass to Bundiaki on a loop around McHanson. Tries to cut back on the inside, making a couple of meters almost up to the 10-meter line of Scotland now. Here they come again. It's taken up by James Ryan, right in the middle of the field on the 10-meter line. Conor Murray, Josh van der Vlier, Peter O'Mahony, Gary Ringrose brought down by Carl Steyn, just up over the 10. Conor Murray again to Sexton, working the blind side here, held up in a tackle by Tui Pelotto. And let's see what the referee's got to call. Scrum down to Scotland, 5 meters out from their own 22. Great defence there from the Scottish players. Knew their rules, held Sexton up and then brought him to ground. Tui Piloto and Jack Dempsey working together there to keep him up in the air and then bring him down, making that ball unplayable. Dwayne the Good says, just imagine if a massive underdog nation win the World Cup. That will be quite amazing. It will be something that every fan really would love to see as well. Is the growth of the game. Scotland, Argentina, Wales, even Ireland to win their first World Cup. France have been only runner-ups in the past. Now Ben White gets it out to Ipolotto to straighten things up for them between the 22 and the 10-meter line. Finn Russell now out to Stuart Hawke. He's caught behind the advantage line. Now Finn Russell from inside his 22 kicks it straight down the middle of the field into the hands of Hugo Keenan on the 10-meter line. Now James Lowe going for the 50-22. A mark made by Kyle Steyn. And inside the 22, beautifully read by Kyle Steyn. And now gives it back to Stuart Hawke, who's going to kick this downfield into the hands of James Lowe again. On the 10-meter line of Ireland, now going high up into the air. He's going to chase down his own kick here and nearly got it as well, just knocked it on. So advantage now to Scotland between the 22 and the 10 inside his own half. Again, Ben White waiting for it now. Here they come. Finn Russell out to Jamie Ritchie. Cuts back towards the 10-meter line, 5 meters out from the right-hand touch line. Now it's Jack Dempsey taking it up for them. Needs to get that ball out. Johnny Gray did well to save that ruck for Scotland. A kick from Ben White is not a great one into the air. And now taken by Mac Hansen. Yes, trouble for Scotland as Ireland starts to running. Now it's Gary Ringrose up to the 10-meter line. Goes a little chip kick over the top. The chase now coming. That ball is going to go over the try line. And Finn Russell is just going to dot it down for a goal line dropout. 4 minutes into the second half. Johannes says, man, hearing all these South African names mentioned by Kuru in this game makes me think SA is playing SA. Right, so goal line dropout now coming up for Scotland. Stuart Hawke with a deep kick in this time round. James Lowe waiting for it on the halfway line. Now he's going to run it up to between the 10 and the 22 in the middle of the field of Scotland. Good attacking opportunity now for Ireland here. Conor Murray, Sexton. Flat pass this time to Porter, who knocks it on. And now Scotland have possession. Ben White going with a kick downfield. Nobody at the back now. It's going to have to be ran back by Beard now. Beard has got it. He's going to have a run now. Gets tackled beautifully by Scotland defence now on the 10-meter line of Ireland. Ferguson quickly up over that ball. Will they win this ball as Scotland? Yes, they have. Now Piers Skuman in possession for Scotland on the 10-meter line of Ireland in the middle of the field. Jack Dempsey gets it out to Finn Russell. Now Hugh Jones. Hugh Jones. Oh, as he knocked that ball on. Oh, this Duan van der Merwe definitely knocked it on. So an advantage now to Ireland. Conor Murray out to Mac Hansen is going to kick it downfield. Finn Russell is covered back, makes the mark inside the 22. And a chance for him to just settle things down and kick this into touch, setting up a line-out for Ireland. It's end-to-end stuff here at the moment. Remember now, Ireland without a hooker, Dan Sheehan and Ronan Keller all injured now. Josh van der Vlier doing the line-out duties for Ireland at the moment. Territory gain of 31 meters for Finn Russell, getting it all the way up to the halfway line. Well, between the 10 and the halfway line inside inside Scottish half. Global Measurement Solutions says, come on, Scotland. The throw in, no, it's been overthrown, and now George Turner's got it for Scotland now. Inside the half of Ireland, Finn Russell, Tui Piloto, Hugh Jones. Hugh Jones straightening up beautifully. He's almost up to the 22-meter line. 5 meters out from the 22 now is Scotland. Finn Russell, that pass is poor. It's going to lose a lot of ground. George Turner, however, gets that ball back for Scotland on the 10-meter line now. It's Ferguson out to Carl Steyn. Carl Steyn cuts back on the inside. He's going to need support now. Ben White again waiting now. Piers Kuman sets it up on the 10-meter line in the middle of the field now. Ben White, Finn Russell, Tui Piloto now. Tui Piloto, Hugh Jones. Hugh Jones gets it out to Duan van der Merwe. Now it's Stuart Hogg up to the 22-meter line. Isolated, turnover ball coming up now for Ireland. Penalty holding on by Stuart Hogg on the 22-meter line. So great defense again from the Irish. And some poor discipline from Scotland, really. Gaining another extra 10 meters, back-chatting the referee. That is the second time in this game. Luke Pierce not taking any nonsense whatsoever. Katima says, any country who wants to win the World Cup will have to go through South Africa. Good luck. Rainer says that Katima and New Zealand and Ireland and France. Johannes says this may just be the most open rugby World Cup ever. Absolutely. Scotland has conceded 7 penalties to the 3 of Ireland. And yeah, they wanted to bring back Ronan Keller, but the referee having none of it at the moment. Sexton to kick this downfield for Ireland. Finds touch roundabout on the 10-meter line of Scotland inside Scottish half. Chance now for them. Kane Healy onto the field for Ireland. Josh van der Vlier again to throw this one in for Ireland now. Remember, they've lost both their hookers in this game already, Ireland. They managed to secure this one, and now with a driving maul here on the 10-meter line of Scotland, right on the right-hand touchline. Conor Murray out to Bundiaki. Johnny Sexton on a loop around McHanson now. Cuts back on the inside, just up over the 10. He's knocked that ball on, surely. Yeah, the referee blows on his whistle. Knock on from McHanson. And it's a scrum down to Scotland. 10 minutes into the second half here. Still anybody's game at the moment. Oh, that ball got ripped by Hugh Jones. Again, the rule on that isn't very clear at the moment. Global Measurement Solution says he who predicts Rugby World Cup 23 winner now can also predict beer prices for the next 10 years. Very open affair indeed. That's a fair call, I would say, Global Measurement Solutions. 10 minutes gone in the second half, 8 points to 7. With 30 minutes to play, can Scotland get back into the lead? I did say the first team to score a try in the second half, if there's about 20 minutes to play, will win this game. I can almost say here the first team to score now might just win this game. And that is a try, of course. Another free kick here to Scotland now off the back. Finn Russell gets it out to Ipoloto on halfway line for Hugh Jones. Hugh Jones makes his way up to the 10-meter line inside Irish half, but Hansen has stolen it. Oh, he loses it, and now it's taken up by Ferguson now for Scotland. Piers Kuman. Finn Russell gets the pass out to Tui Piloto. He's going to put a little grabber through. Hugo Keenan is back, but it wins. The touchline wins. So about 15 meters out from Irish try line, it will be a line out to Ireland. Remember, they do not have a known hooker on the field at the moment is Ireland. So any line out could be a gamble for them. And Scotland will definitely do well to try and capitalize on that. Great steal on the ground from McHanson, and then just knocked it on. Got taken by Jack Dempsey, and from there, almost trouble for Ireland. Van der Vlier now with the throw in is going to find James Ryan. The maul set up off the back now. Kane Healy, Jack Conan, still inside the 22 of Ireland. Waiting for that ball is Conor Murray, trying to milk a penalty where there's none. And that kick from Hugo Keenan slices off the boot, or from James Lowe. And a chance now for Scotland from between the 10 and the 22-meter line of Ireland. 5 meters outside of the 22 of Ireland. A chance now for Scotland. Can they do this? Bas van Moerse says, Scotland, you can do this, my laddies. Right, so taken off the back, George Turner now controlling that ball at the back of this maul for Scotland. They're starting to move forward now. Just short of the 22. They need to get this out. Ben White tries to throw a little dummy, tries to go himself. And the ball's lost by Scotland now. Sloppy, but they do get it back eventually. George Turner now. Xander Fagerson, 5 meters outside of the 22. Brilliant defense from Ireland at the moment. Piers Kuman again. Ben White, Finn Russell. Flat pass. Oh, referee says it's forward to Hugh Jones. So scrum down to Ireland between the 10 and the 22-meter line inside their own half. Right, 27 minutes to go in this one. Can one of these two teams make the breakthrough? As onto the field comes Jamie Barty, as well as Fraser Brown for Scotland. Xander Fagerson going off, as well as George Turner. It's a massive game, this one. Very physical indeed. Oh no, it's in fact George Turner is still on the field. It's Jamie Barty and Simon Burgham who's on the field. And also onto the field comes Jamison Gibson Park for Ireland. So plenty of changes now coming onto the field. Conor Murray will be leaving the field for Jamison Gibson Park. All that I know, Boko to play in World Cup final. It's written in the stars. Then can South Africa become the first to win a 4th Rugby World Cup title? It's going to be interesting indeed. It's anybody's game. Anybody can beat anybody on the day. 8 points to 7 this one. Ireland clear favourites, but Scotland is holding their own at the moment. Time is back on now. It's Jamison Gibson Park to feed this one in for them. Solid scrum this time from Ireland, but the scrum is wheeling and it's going to be a penalty to Ireland. So a chance for them to make some ground upfield here. Great work done there by Kane Healy, who's now slotting in at hooker for the Irish. Sexton to kick this downfield for Ireland. And he will find touch round about on the 10-meter line. Just, well, between the 10 and the 22 of Scotland. So good attacking opportunity now for the Irish here with 25 minutes to play. Can they seal off the deal here? Josh van der Vlier to throw this one in for them. Josh van der Vlier, the standing hooker now for Ireland. They get the line out. Peter O'Mahony off the back now. Jamison Gibson Park out to tight furlong. Sets it up just over the 10 at the moment. Little box kick over the top from Jamison Gibson Park. The chase beautifully taken by McHanson. Gets the pass out to Johnny Sexton, 2 meters out from the try line. It's Kane Healy, just a meter short now. Penalty advantage coming for them. Andrew Porter, 5 meters out from the try line is Ireland now. Can this be the moment where they win this game? Gibson Park waiting for it now. Gets it out to Kane Healy again. Let's see what's going to happen here now. Gibson Park, Peter Omani. Gibson Park again. Buniaki cuts back on the inside. Nearly there. Still 2 meters out from the try line. Gibson Park. Here come Beard nearly over. It's Jack Conan. Still a meter short. Now over. Nearly over. Still a meter short. Gibson Park. Long pass out. Then it's going to be James Lowe in for the try in the corner. And that could just as well be the game here. If the conversion goes over, this could be trouble. Also, I'm so glad Rassie been convinced to change his Koppendonor tactics. Bokke can also attack with the backs. We don't have to always attack with our Billy forwards. We can attack with our backline, I presume. Ireland a good team, but not a World Cup winning team. Well, they've just got the try that could win them the Six Nations here. Come next week, they play England at home. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem for them. Try to James Lowe in the corner. And this conversion of utmost importance now for Ireland. With 22 or 23 minutes to go. I would say, Jonathan, I do think Ireland is seriously World Cup winning material, but it's banter, man. Just getting into your skin a little bit as Bas van die Moer se plaas. Right, so Sexton then with this conversion attempt to bring them up to 15 points. Will he get it? That one, no, it's beautifully struck. It's 15 points to 7. And Ireland now with a good cushion going into the last 20. Good to check for forward pass. Block running. Crooking Ireland. The same as Australia. If it works on a day, I guess. Right, so 22 minutes to go. 15 points to 7. Ireland lead now. The kickoff taken by James Ryan inside the 22. About 10 meters out from the right-hand touchline here for Ireland. Gibson Park going with the box kick over the top. And he will find touch between the 10 and the 22 inside his own half. Global Measurement Solutions says playing England means weekend off. LOL. Shark Brain also says shame England got another huge hiding at Twickenham. Drawing with the All Blacks under Eddie doesn't look that bad now, does it? No, it doesn't. You can't change a coach 6 months out from a World Cup. It's basically killing it off already for them. The lineup now stolen by Ireland, and Gibson Park now gets that ball on the back. Bundiaki now on a loop around Sexton. Mac Hansen, they're starting to run with this as Ireland now. James Lowe up over the halfway line and still going. Oh, it's a beautiful little fend off. Now a little grabber kick ahead from him. Duan van der Merwe is back right on his own try line, trying to salvage this for Scotland now. Dear oh dear. On their own try line is Scotland. Ali Price also on the field now for Scotland. Comes back to Finn Russell, who kicks it into touch. And that's going to be a line out now. 5 meters inside the 22 of Scotland for Ireland. Mike says, how's it, Guru? Thanks for the great commentary. No problem. Thanks, Mike. So the cracks are now starting to open up for Scotland here with 20 minutes to go. I did say that I think the first team to score a try in the second half is going to win it. So I'm guessing Ireland is winning this one. Josh van der Vliet to throw this one in for Ireland. finds finds Beard. And the maul now set up by Ireland on the 22-meter line. Gibson Park getting it out now. Flat pass to James Lowe. 5 meters inside the 22. Gibson Park to Tight Furlong. Tight Furlong now. Gibson Park again to Beard once again. Just setting things up for Ireland inside the 22 now. Here they come through Kane Healy. Kane Healy now. Right in the middle of the field. Gibson Park, Sexton. Ringrose on the loop around Sexton. Gets it out to Jack Conan. Moving towards the right-hand side of the field. 10 meters out from the try line. Ireland still on the attack now. Gibson Park. Back it comes Mac Hansen. Skip pass out to Jack Conan. And he gets a try in the corner for Ireland. And that pretty much will wrap up this game for sure. Brilliant try from Ireland. And that is how you win the competition. Well. Ivan Hopkins says, good commentary. Thanks, Ivan. And then Johannes says, Jacques Stem. Thanks. And then Bas van die Moerse Plaas. Cheers, Guru. Yes, Moerse, a good commentator. Love it. Go Scotland. And then Shark Brain says, Ireland are yet to make it past the World Cup qualifier. Quarterfinal, that is, Shark Brain. So 20 points to 7 here with 18 minutes to go. Ireland are busy wrapping up this game now. Scotland just not good enough, it seems, here today. BT Murrayfield is not going to erupt tonight. It's Scotland 7, Ireland 20 at the moment. David Edwards says, come on, Ireland. 18 minutes to play in this one. And that's about it. If Sexton gets this one, it's game over. Right, can he get this right from the right-hand touchline? He hasn't had one single easy kick tonight, is Sexton so far. And that one again is beautifully struck, and it's 22 points to 7. And now Scotland will have to score two converted tries and a penalty to win this one. David Edwards says this is a bit one-sided now. Johannes says, Akshay man, die arme skotte kan net nie 'n wen koop nie. Right, so from the restart, Ireland now in control of that ball. Goes to the box kick over the top from inside the 22 now. It's Stuart Hawke who takes that ball on the halfway line now. Sione Tuipuloto brought down on the halfway line in the middle of the field. Ali Price now waiting for it. Can they get this ball out? They do get it out. Finn Russell got a pass now to Ferguson. Still on the halfway line. 5 meters out from the left-hand side of the field. Price again now back to Finn Russell. Flat pass again this time to Sione Tuipuloto now on a cut back inside. Just up over halfway now. Price again. Working it through Cummins. But just not able to get forward. And now Tuan van der Merwe has knocked that ball on the 10-meter line inside his own half. But a penalty goes the way of Scotland. 5 meters inside their own half. Fraser Brown also on the field now for Scotland. The kick downfield from Finn Russell, going to find touch 5 meters inside the 22 of Ireland. They need to score now if they want any chance of getting back in this game. Johan de Bruin says, on current form, Ireland are definitely the team to beat at the World Cup. It's up to them to put their failure of past World Cups behind them and show the world why they are number one in the world. Exactly. Johannes says the Scots are renowned for grabbing a loss from the jaws of victory. Yeah, that's true as well. Mike says Ireland by 30. Line out stolen by Ireland, and things are not going the way of Scotland at the moment. Gibson Park now controlling that ball at the back. Blair King on the field for Stuart Hawke. who's left the field. That kick finds touch roundabout on the 10-meter line of Ireland. Tom O'Toole also on now for tight furlong. Shark Brain says this box have won more World Cups in France than France put that in your morning coffee. And then David Edwards. Can I please get a shout out? So there you go, David Edwards. There's your shout out. Thanks for tuning in to the channel, and good luck with your team for the World Cup. Scotland now controlling this ball on the 10-meter line inside Ireland territory now. Tui Pilato, it's Finn Russell on a loop around, Tuan van der Merwe now. He's going to run straight into James Lowe. Good defense from Lowe this time round. Between the 10 and the 22 now, Finn Russell. Cut out pass now. Oh, that's a horrible forward pass from Ferguson to Jamie Ritchie. Scrum down to Ireland. It's just not working out for Scotland here. Miles and miles forward. Your Highness says, yeah, well, the last time we played a World Cup in France, we won it. I will never forget it. 2007, Butch James at fly off. Brilliant player, one of my all-time favorites. Brian Abana, you can just name a few. Skalkberger, Johan Smith, Victor Matfield, Pakis Botha, Os Durant, John Smith, and yeah, there were so many. Jean de Villiers was injured. Frans Steyn, Jacques Fourie in the midfield, JP Peterson and Abana on the wings with Percy Montgomery at fullback. It was Butch James and Farida Priya at halfback. So a very good Springbok side in 2007, but equally good this year and in 2019. Your Highness says the best team ever. Yeah, we had stars in that lineup. Come to think of it, the great Osturan, the great Farida Priya, the great Skalkberger, the great Victor Matfield, the brilliant enforcer and Bakkies Botha, the likes of a young Frans Steyn at his best, Jacques Fourie, JP and Brian, and then Percy playing some brilliant rugby as well that year. So Bundiaki now leaving the field for Ireland, and Robbie Henshaw comes onto the field. Still got about 13 minutes to go in this game, and it's Ireland who's leading quite comfortably at the moment. Gibson Park now to feed this one in. Strong scrum from Ireland again, and let's see, the referee says no, it's going to be a reset scrum this time round. Ireland feet here, 5 meters out from the road and touchline on the 10-meter line inside their own half. Your Highness says 2 players in our team have 2 Rugby World Cup gold medals. That's one is Ostu Runt. And who's the other one? Let me just think for a second here. Dear goodness me. It's not something that I forget. Frans Steyn is the other one. So Frans Steyn and Os Durant. Right, another scrum to be reset here on the 10-meter line. David says, thank you very much for the shout out, and everyone in the chat, subscribe to him. Thanks, David. Don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Right, so Gibson Park again to feed this one in for them. It's stagnated a little bit, got a little bit quiet here in the last 5 minutes, just scrumming resets all the time. Now Gibson Park off the back, gets it out now. Henshaw, Sexton, Mac Hansen. He's been a handful here now on the halfway line, brought down. Gibson Park again, flat pass this time to Beard. Here they come again. There's Ireland now. Mac Hansen out to Josh van der Fleer. trying to flare up to the 22-meter line now of Scotland. James Lowe brought down 5 meters out from the left-hand touchline. Here they come again, Beard. On the 22-meter line in the middle of the field, it's Henshaw taken up by James Ryan. Right in the middle of the field, Gibson Park out. It comes to Andrew Porter now. Gibson Park again. Back it comes to James Ryan once again. Tom O'Toole there in support. Sexton on the loop around. Robbie Henshaw getting man and ball. Gibson Park again. Back it comes to Kane Healy. Still on the 22-meter line of Scotland at the moment. That ball got ripped by Jamie Ritchie. Out the back it comes still for Ireland. Peter O'Mahony now. Still on the 22 now. Mac Hansen turning on the gas. 5 meters inside the 22 now. Gibson Park again. Back it comes. Oh, sloppy pass there from Ireland, but it's an advantage for a knock-on or a penalty, I think. I'm not sure. James Lowe now. Still 5 meters inside. Pick up and go. Jack Conan. Gibson Park again. Mac Hansen. Was there obstruction there? The pass to Keenan not good, but it is going to be a scrum down to Scotland for that obstruction. 10 meters out from their own try line. 10 minutes to play in this one. Still 10 minutes to go. Sure. Dwayne the Good says, will Ireland now be crowned the 2023 Guinness Six Nation champions tonight or next weekend? So what can still happen here is if Ireland do not get a bonus point out of this game and they lose to England next week without a bonus point, they will lose it to France if France beat Wales with a bonus point. So, yeah, they've got their one hand on the trophy already. It's now Ross Byrne for Johnny Sexton as well. Sharkbrain says the Rugby Championship is the real World Cup. 6 World Cup winners in that tournament. Yeah. The tide has turned on us, Sharkbrain. Rugby has now been dominated by the Northern Hemisphere the last 2 or 3 years. So we'll see how it goes. So we've still got 9 minutes to play in this one. Ali Price now to feed it in for Scotland. It's definitely over as a contest, this game, unless they can score 3 tries in, 2 converted tries and a penalty in the next 8 minutes. Price feeds it in just outside the just 10 meters from their own try line. Here they come now. Hugh Jones, Blair Kinghorn gets past one. Now he needs to get the offload, can't do so. Ali Price gets it back now. It's Finn Russell again. Flat pass to Barty. Now Tui Pelotto. Caught inside his own 22 here in the middle of the field. Price again back to Finn Russell. The kick downfield. Hugo Keenan is back for it. The bounce of the ball is kind for him. Kicks it downfield into the hands of Finn Russell now. Finn Russell sends it back downfield. Poor kick from him into the hands of Ross Byrne, who kicks it downfield as well. Back for it is Blair Kinghorn. And Blair Kinghorn will now kick this downfield. But the referee, what he should have done 2 minutes ago, stopping the game for an injury, didn't do so. Now blows on the whistle for it. Yeah, it's Gary Ringrose who has stayed down. That's concussion, surely. Fell badly on his head there, hit the ground. So not expecting more than a little bit of a concussion there for him. Although he is receiving quite a bit of attention there. Right, so as far as the contest goes, this one is over. 22 points to 7. Ireland leading Scotland with 7.5 minutes to go in this game. It's pretty much done and dusted here. We have 8 minutes to go in this one, just waiting for this injury. So, not sure if I can pull up that Six Nations lock, but what I do know, let me have a look quickly. Maybe I can just discuss this real quickly. So, if we look at the standings here after this game today, Ireland now will move up to 20 points, 19 points, because they haven't scored a bonus point just yet. France will be on 15. Scotland will be on, well, staying on 10. England on 10, Wales on 4, and Italy on 1. So, which means Ireland are going to play England at home. So that should be a win, which will give them 23 points, 24 points at most as it stands. If they win, and then they win the championship as well. Do they lose? They will stay on 19 or 20 points, with France playing Wales, which they probably will get a bonus point win from it. And it's going to be interesting to see. The point difference at the moment is roughly around, well, it's 15 points already on that. 51 is 67 on 46. So it's about a 20-point turnaround for France if they want to be crowned champions of the Six Nations, if Ireland do lose to England next week, which is highly, highly unlikely. So with this game, you can almost say for certain that Ireland will be crowned champions of the Six Nations next week. They're still receiving attention to Gary Ringrose, so it's obviously worse than I expected it to be. It's disappointing for Gary Ringrose, such a quality player, and you do not want him to be lost for this Irish side come World Cup time. Right, so taking their time with this one, players are getting a little bit cold on the field at the moment. And 22 points to 7. No way back with 8 minutes to play. Still taking their time with that injury to Gary Ringrose at the moment. Rightfully so. Player safety comes first. We've seen some tremendous controversial calls in the last year or two regarding that. So it's important that they do it as they do it at the moment. So it will be a 20-point turnaround if the score stays the same here and they do not get the bonus points. So if Ireland win that game next week, they will be crowned. If they lose it with a bonus point, France will have to win with a bonus point and turn around a 20-point deficit. Also, if England do beat Ireland, then they do subtract that difference as well. So it could be less than 20. But either way, it's it's going to be a really tough ask. Global Measurement Solutions asked, done and dusted. Well done, Green Machine. Absolutely. Can't see with 8 minutes to play these guys doing it and winning it. Right, so time will be back on now again. Stuart Wason says, hi, Guru. Always love what you do for us and your opinion. Love your channel. Question, do you think Ireland and France may have picked too early for the World Cup? Absolutely not. I think they will only gain more confidence as the competition go. And I mean, Ireland's first game in the World Cup will be against Romania, and they will build from that and then move on and play, I think, Tonga. And then do they play South Africa second or third after that? But they will have another momentum booster with the opening game against Romania. So they will be well off, while Scotland will be taking on, is it Tonga or South Africa first up? I haven't really gone through the fixtures that much just yet. Barry says, hi, Guru. But to answer your question, no, I don't think so. I think France are just building from last year. They had a hiccup against Ireland at home. So not too much to talk about on that one. It couldn't go either way. I think if they played it in France, I think France would have won Ireland. So either way around. it's going to be a lovely World Cup with all these teams at their best. Should be really interesting. Barry says Ireland strong so far as always. So still receiving that attention is Gary, and it's not looking good for them at the moment. Hopefully just for precaution measurements here, and that it not be too serious at the end of the day for Ringrose. 22-7, 8 minutes to play in this one. And it looks like he will now be taken off the field. So the question now is, who's going to come back? Will Bundiaki come back onto the field? Or will we see somebody else come on? Is there any replacements left on the field? I don't think so. They brought on Robbie Henshaw, Ross Byrne, Jameson Gibson Park. Yeah, so I think Bundiaki is forced to come back onto the field. England problem, says Global Measurement Solutions. Absolutely. Can't change a World Cup coach, a brilliant coach 6 months out from the World Cup, and expect them to do magic. It will work on the end of the day, I think, for Australia, who has now got Eddie Jones, who is from Australia and used to coach them before, so he knows the environment and everything. Stuart Wason says, thanks, Guru. Definitely going to an outstanding World Cup, probably the most challenging we've ever seen. Absolutely. Well, we know at least one of these two teams, along with the Springboks, one of them will not make the quarterfinals. And we will face either the All Blacks or France in the quarterfinals, which is going to be tough for South Africa. Right, so time is back on now, and we are going to have a scrum down to Scotland. Ali Price to feed this one in for Scotland. Inside the 22, 5 meters inside towards the middle of the field now. Price feeds it in. Solid scrum there of the back now. Price gets it out to Blair Kinghorn, straightening the line a little bit there now. Ali Price again. Hamish Watson now taking it up 5 meters over the 22. Finn Russell gets the pass out now to Ipolotto. Hugh Jones again. Hugh Jones straightening things up to the 10-meter line of Scotland towards the left-hand side of the field. The pass back on the inside, knocked on by Scotland, I think. No, says the referee, play on. Finn Russell again, flat pass out to Jamie Ritchie. Still on the 10-meter line now. Finn Russell, a bit of space now, tries to go himself. Between the 10 and the halfway line, he's brought down. Hugh Jones gets the pass out to Carl Steyn, back on the inside to Jack Dempsey, who gets bundled into touch on the halfway line. Incredible defense from the Irish team today with 6 minutes to play in this game. Our first game is against Scotland, says McKill. So, yeah, that's going to be a tough one. We have to set the standards for that one. Josh van der Vliet to throw this one in now for Scotland, for Ireland. Just inside the Irish half now. Oh, it's been overthrown and taken by Scotland now. Finn Russell to Ipolotto again. Hugh Jones. Now the skip pass out to Duan van der Merwe. Duan van der Merwe now just up over the halfway line. Up to the 10-meter line. Ali Price now gets it back to Jack Dempsey. Price again now taken up to Ipolotto with a little cross kick in directly into touch. And that's going to be a line out all the way back for Ireland now. Disappointing from the Scottish all around. So we still got 5 minutes to play in this one. Can Scotland at least get a consolation try to go with it? 22 points to 7. Josh van der Vliet to throw this one in now. Line out again, goes straight for Ireland here. And here they come again. Is Scotland to Ipolotto up over the halfway line. Good tackle, good defense from Ireland. Now Finn Russell throws a little dummy. Oh, he's knocked it on. Now Hugo Keenan gets it out to James Lowe. Here comes the counter-attack from Ireland now again. They've got numbers on the outside. It's beautifully Gibson Park. Up all the way. Can he go all the way? The pass back on the inside to James Ryan. And James Ryan, oh, the pass has gone forward to James Lowe. And it's been dot down by Cummins, but they will probably have the scrum down here. It would have been a brilliant try for Ireland there. But unfortunately, just a forward pass there from James Ryan. Great cover tackle from Carl Steyn there. Definitely saving a try there. Never give up. Yeah, just unable to get to that one. Global Measurement says, thanks, Guru. See you again. Thanks a lot for this. Much appreciated. No problem. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Barry says, Eddie Jones leaving, you will never gonna get same performance. Absolutely. 3 minutes to play in this game. As Ali Price now feeds this one in for Scotland, 5 meters out from their own try line. It's a big push from Ireland, and they win the penalty. They want that bonus point, which means if they lose to England next week, they just need a bonus point. If they get the bonus point here today. Scrum coming up for Ireland, 5 meters out from the try line. No, it's going to be a tap and go. Kane Healy to tap this one for Ireland. Sets it up. Oh, is there a knock on? Yeah, a knock on from Ireland. Scrum to Scotland. How important is that? If Ireland do not get the bonus point and they lose to England next week, they're going to rue this moment for the title in this competition. Barry Green says, Eddie Jones is the king of upsets. Absolutely. Right, so Scrum, Ali Price to feed this one. 2 minutes to play in this game here at PT Murrayfield. 2 minutes that Scotland will have to survive to prevent Ireland from getting a bonus point. Ali Price to feed this one in. Off the back control. And the penalty to Scotland taken quickly now. Tui Pelotto gets it out to Finn Russell. It's Hugh Jones. No, Blair Kinghorn cuts back on the outside. Gets it out to Duan van der Merwe. He's going to run back inside. Tackled by Gibson Park. Solid Irish defense today. Defense can win you World Cups, and they've done brilliant in defense today. There's this Irish side as well. Barty takes it up. Now Finn Russell, flat pass out to Barty again. Russell, show and go between the 10 and the halfway line. Scotland now inside their own half. Taken up by Cummings. Ali Price again now. Hugh Jones, Tui Pelotto, Carl Steyn going backwards of Scotland on the 10-meter line inside their own half. Jamie Ritchie sets it up. Less than a minute to go in this game. Still coming as Scotland now up to the halfway line they go. Ali Price now. Jamie Ritchie again. Caught on the halfway line. Slow penalty to Scotland. Yeah, there we go. Barry says, we're losing bonus point from England. Yeah, if they don't get a bonus point, at least from that loss against England, they might be in trouble either way. Dion Cordier says, box for the World Cup. Barry Green, do not, of course. Right, so the kick downfield, into touch it goes. Chris Harris on the field for Finn Russell, way too late for his arrival into this game as well. But it will be Scotland with a line out 5 meters out of the 22 as time is up on the clock here. Mac Hansen, the Guinness Six Nation player of the match. And what a game this guy has had today. 22-7, the throw in from Fraser over the top, and Ireland now have possession. Can they get that bonus point try? It's Hugo Keenan now up over the halfway line, puts a little grubber kick ahead for Mac Hansen to chase. It's going to be Chris Harris who leaves it behind. It's been picked up by Hugo Keenan now. Here's a chance for Ireland. Peter O'Mahony. Oh, it's been knocked on by Ireland. Double knock on, says the referee, and that's going to be the end of the game. So no bonus point for Ireland, but a 4-pointer pushes them up to 19 points on the lock, 4 points clear of France. So a win will do it for them against England to win the competition. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. It is full time here as Ireland beat Scotland by 22 points to 7 after halftime, 8 points to 7 to Ireland. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Until next time, I will see you probably next week, if not the week after that, for Heineken Cup action. But until then, guys, cheers for now.